What is going on, comic book community? Welcome to an episode of Josh's Comics. Today I'm going to show you every single slab that is currently in my PC. Got some great modern, some great Silver Age books, so stay tuned to find out what is in my collection. Alright guys, so welcome back. We're going to jump into it. We're checking out every single slab that I own currently in my collection. Let's start off some modern. This is Daredevil number 25 from the Chip Zdarsky run. And a 9.8. This is actually my first ever 9.8. Some of these books I will let you know if I send them out myself. This I did not. I picked this up from a fellow collector. And this is actually Daredevil, even though it says issue number 25 up here, it's actually Daredevil number 637. Elektra becomes the new Daredevil. Probably one of my favorite current runs. I've read a few of the single issues from Chip's run. Love it. The complete Omniverse, well, volume 1 of his Omniverse is coming out, I believe, later this year or next year, and I can't wait to pick that up and read the full run. It's really great. So, great pickup for the PC. Happy to have that. Moving on, another book that I picked up off of Whatnot for a good deal. This is actually Miss Marvel number 1. The first Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel. And an 8.0. For me, honestly, for the collection, I think it's a great slab to have. And, you know, certain books I would like to have my slabs in certain grades. Obviously, more modern comics I like to have in the higher 9s. But older books, and, you know, Miss Marvel, why it's not that old of a book, does it say do we have a... Oh, wow. I'm thinking it's, what, 80s if I'm not mistaken. I don't mind having an 8.0 of this in the slab. I think it was pretty affordable. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I spent $75 on this on eBay, which included shipping. Well, not eBay, on Whatnot, so I was very happy with that. Moving on, I got this actually in a mystery box. And it's actually a very cool Star Wars slab, in my opinion. Sorry about that. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, issue 1 of 5. 3 first appearances. I cannot pronounce their names, and I don't want to try because I look ridiculous trying to do it. Great looking slab though. Happy to have this. A 9.6, you know, another great candidate. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was high up, going for quite a bit of money. Now it's kind of dropped. But, you know, Star Wars is constantly always, you know, putting out good shows. Disney, we'll have to see what they do in the future. But great pickup. Moving on, these next few books, I will say, are actually my first ever comic pickups, and they were my first ever CGC submissions myself. And to start it off, got a mixed match. I'm gonna go with Daredevil issue number 170, Bullseye, Kingpin, and Vanessa first appearance. This is actually the first time that Daredevil and Kingpin meet up. And I'm extremely happy to buy this. Like I said, or I'm extremely happy to have this. Like I said, I picked it up in North Carolina last year when I first started hunting for comics. It was a good key issue, in my opinion. And things have heated up due to the fact that Daredevil Born Again is coming on Disney Plus, and we're going to be seeing that show. Great cover. An 8.0 of that. And I also got its cousin, or its brother, you would say, issue number 171. This is actually the first fight between Daredevil and Kingpin. Another great issue to have. 8.0 slabs, I believe 8.0 copies of these actually raw were going for like 15, 20 bucks maybe, if that. Now, due to the news of the recent show and everything, these have definitely heated up. But they're great additions to the PC. And ones that, you know what, maybe one day I'll upgrade and get higher copies. But 8.0s I'm extremely happy to have. So those two were my first ever CG submissions, along with this other great book. Batman issue number 497. When Bane breaks Batman's back. it's a newsstand edition. Exists without the black outer cover. But this is another CG submission of mine, and I was extremely happy to have it come back. And a 9.2, wish it was a little bit higher, but I'm okay with it. It was my first time submitting and trying to understand about the grading process and really getting that down. Great cover, great story. Another book that I actually submitted myself, not in that same pile. I have one other book in here that I submitted myself. But this book I did submit to my first ever CGC Signature Select signing. Probably a signing that may never happen again. Paul Dini, excellent writer of Batman the Animated Series, the video games, and keeps coming back to the comics. I sent in a Batman The Adventures Continue #1. Paul Dini signing right there. Again, yeah, I wish it was higher, but it was my first time sending books in. And I will say that I did ask for the pressing service at CGC. And now that I look at the book, I mean, there's a few, spine ticks on it. I wish I didn't send it in. I wish I would wait it. But it was a last-minute opportunity. It was back last year when I was just coming back from doing my North Carolina hunt. So I sent this in. Happy to have it in 9.4. I think it's a great cover as well. And it might be the only time I ever get a chance to own a Paul Dini signature. Moving on, this is actually the first ever slab that I bought. And this is a 9.6. I probably should have went for the 9.8. These books were selling for quite a bit of money back a while ago. They have since cooled off. It's Thor #1. Which is pretty much the Jane Foster Thor run. Love the comics, love what they do with it. Obviously, Thor Love and Thunder was it was an okay movie, but yeah, I didn't like really what they did with the character. I felt like she should have been there more and they could have done more with her. It was still great to see her live action, and but still, like I said, in a 9.6, I think I spent like under $80 for this like a year or two ago. You can probably get affordable 9.8 copies now too as well. Great cover though, good modern day adding to the collection. The other 3 books that I said I sent in for the first time to my first ever CGC submission, I sent a 4th book in as well. Daredevil Keys, guys. Daredevil issue number 181. It's the Death of Elektra. Honestly, one of my all-time favorite covers, to be honest. I really love that. And 168 is definitely on the Grail list for pickups and a great cover. But I really love that cover. The yellow pop's great. An 8.5 copy. I'm happy with that, honestly. I mean, could always upgrade later. But in my opinion, I think an 8.5 is very respectable for this book. And we'll have to see again, Daredevil, depending on how Born Again goes, we'll see Elektra. It's kind of like a rebooting of the Netflix show, so we'll see exactly how much of a soft, like if it's a soft reboot, full reboot, or what, but great pickup, and I love that cover, and anytime I can find these, even in raw copies, I like to pick them up. Moving on, I saved these last couple of books because I feel like they're the more higher valued books in my current collection. And this one is a very big key of mine that I picked up, and I'm happy to add this. This is an 8.0 copy of DC Comics Presents number 26. First appearance of the new Teen Titans in preview. First appearance of Raven, Cyborg, and Starfire. And you can actually, that's their first appearance right there. Now, this book, in my opinion, is an underrated valued key. I feel like people don't like it as much because of the cover. The cover is not as appealing, right? As the first, new Teen Titans and the first appearance of Starfire and Cyborg and Raven, you would think maybe they would be more on the cover other than this little part right here. You think, unfortunately they're not. And the cover with Green Lantern and Superman, it's an okay cover in my opinion. But like I said, I think it's an undervalued and underrated key. I think even 9.8 copies sell very undervalued. With James Gunn's DCU, we'll see how that takes off. We'll see what happens with that. I believe the Teen Titans will be a big player in that universe if it takes off. I haven't watched the Teen Titans show. I think after 3 seasons it was canceled or they ended it. I heard great things about it though. I will check that out one day. But yeah, I'm really happy to have this. Again, DC keys, in my opinion, a lot of DC keys are underrated and undervalued. Now, moving on, I have a lot more. Well, when I send out, I have a lot more comments. I got a huge stack of CGC submissions, but these two are really big personal grails of mine, you would say. They're part of my collection, my Batman Rogue Gallery collection. Starting off with Detective Comics issue number 411-411. First appearance of Tyler Al Ghul and a 4-0. I found this on eBay, and I know I got it for under fair market value. Happy to add this to the collection. Batman key. You guys know me. If you watch the channel, you know Batman. You see him in the background. Constantly adding Batman books. Some of the same ones, and I'm constantly adding big Batman keys. And I got quite a few first appearances eventually going out to CGC. I'm probably going to send them out later this year. It's hard to keep up because I'm currently buying right now. And then, some of the submissions I want to send in are going to be a bit pricey, but it is what it is. But this key right here, sorry about the glare. First Tyra Al Ghul. You can't beat that. And it's, in my opinion, another undervalued and underrated key. I don't see many people with this in their collection. I feel like due to 232 being Roz's first appearance, and League of Shadows is, if I'm not mistaken, 410 or 409 or something like that, Detective Comics. And then, shortly before Roz shows up. And I feel like it's just underrated. It's undervalued. Nobody really collects it. And, 4.0 guys, in my opinion, I'm happy with low grade. Low grade is better than no grade, a lot of people say. I collect what I can afford. I am not Mr. Moneybags. I don't, I work, don't get me wrong, and some of my money that comes from my job obviously gets eaten up by my collection, so I have to pick and choose. I can't, I wish I could buy everything in high grade, but a 4.0 of this, I think, is a great addition to the PC, and a lot of these books that you see are going to stay in the PC long term. I don't plan on selling them or flipping them. And moving on to the last book, in my opinion, it's probably the more pricier. Obviously DC Comics Presents and Tyra is definitely pricey. I think between this one that's I'm about to show and those three, it's kind of close, but I feel like this is a bit more pricier than those two. And this is Batman issue number 189, and it's the first Silver Age appearance of the Scarecrow. See that a little up close. A 3.5, I'm honestly happy with that. I'm okay with that. Even if this thing was a 2.0, I'm okay with lower grade books. Obviously, when you start getting under 2.0, and then you're like, well, what's the difference between a 2.0 and a 1.5? But, I just, as long as it's presentable, nice, and it's a decent looking copy, and it's not, missing, a lot of stuff or chunks and holes out of it, I'm okay. So, I would say, honestly, Scarecrow is in my top 5 villains, and I had to have this key. And you know what? This is this is a more affordable copy of any Batman rogue villain. With Tyra, and some people would say Tyra is technically, a rogue, a love interest, sometimes, In my opinion, Scarecrow is another undervalued, underrated key. And was happy to pick this up. Got a good deal on it on eBay. Yeah. And I'm happy to have it. And, this is just... So what? We have between this one, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of my CGC books that are in my collection. Remember when I started out doing this, and always wondered if I was going to have a lot of slabs in the collection. And I'm finding out that, you know, I don't know if you can see me, but right up here, I think my next thing, you see that whole stack of books? That's CGC submissions I'm looking on sending in. Again, Silver Age, some nice Silver Age keys, some nice Bronze, Copper, Modern. Some books that are not even keys, they are just books that I want to, you know, get slabbed, that I think, you know, I want to preserve in the future for the collection. And I'm happy to have this little collection. I know a lot of people are going to probably watch this and like, yeah, it's a nice little collection. And there's a lot of people out there who have a lot more bigger collections than me, and that's fine. I'm constantly adding. And yeah, I'm looking to add more CGC, whether it's submissions myself, I want to do more unboxings, I'd love to do it. Or if I go along to a Comic-Con or a local comic book shop and I find a good slab for a good price, I'm always down for that. So guys, that is it today for my video of my CGC slab collection of what I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying the content. Do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Couple of announcements. This video is dropping today. I will be going away tomorrow, Saturday. I will be driving down to the good old state of North Carolina, going to the beaches. I'm going to enjoy a week and a half with my family. I will be doing some comic hunting. Possibly might film a video while I'm down there and upload it. If not, I will do that the following week. Expect some footage there from me on Instagram, and I'll upload maybe a few shorts here to YouTube as well of just doing some comic book hunting down there. And if any fellow collectors are in the area, feel free, reach out to me. I'd love to, you know, meet up, go on the hunt, and talk comics. And that's it, guys. So until next time, do me a favor, stay safe, take care of each other, and as always, we will see you in the next episode of Josh's Comics.